The Las Vegas Raiders have officially obliterated every existing quarterback trade precedent, landing Shedeur Sanders in a monumental 4-year blockbuster worth $80 million guaranteed. The entire NFL universe now sits in utter disbelief. This isn't just another headline-grabbing acquisition, it is a seismic franchise upheaval, one of the most earth-shattering transformations in recent league history. Within just 3 hours of the initial leaks, social media imploded. Twitter's servers strained under the weight of millions of reactions. Instagram became a flood of shock and astonishment, and TikTok creators scrambled to push out content to capture the cultural earthquake. The aftershock spread coast to coast, penetrating every layer of professional football culture. Behind the scenes, the story is even more staggering. Insiders confirmed that Raiders owner Mark Davis personally boarded a flight Tuesday evening, meeting Sanders at an undisclosed location. The encounter lasted 4 intense hours. No agents, no circus, just owner and quarterback. One eyewitness said Davis looked Sanders dead in the eye and declared, "We're not just signing a quarterback, we're securing the future of this franchise. Name your price." Sanders asked for 24 hours. He was given 12. By Wednesday morning, the Raiders machine was already in motion. Jersey production, press conference logistics, media rollout, executed with military precision. This wasn't mere contract talk. It was the culmination of months of covert maneuvering dating back to Cleveland's public implosion. Raider scouts, under the guise of evaluating other prospects, attended every Browns training camp practice, meticulously documenting Sanders' footwork, leadership, composure under fire, rapport with receivers, and resilience to coaching criticism. The conclusion was inescapable. Sanders wasn't just talented, he was a franchise-altering cornerstone being wasted in dysfunction. The numbers themselves are historic. The $80 million guarantee doubles the previous rookie quarterback benchmark. An annual average of $20 million catapults Sanders into the league's top 15 earners at the position. With incentives, the package could soar past $100 million. These figures don't merely rewrite the rule book, they obliterate financial tradition. For context, Joe Burrow locked in $146 million guaranteed on a $275 million deal. Lamar Jackson secured $185 million guaranteed on $260 million. Both were battle-tested veterans. Sanders, by contrast, brings collegiate dominance and limitless upside, yet already commands guarantees at near legendary levels. Cleveland, meanwhile, was blindsided. Sources report the Browns' front office was completely oblivious until the final stages. They assumed Sanders would return post-suspension, making zero contingency plans. Tuesday evening, just 2 hours before Sanders met the Raiders, GM Andrew Berry received an 8-minute phone call from Sanders' camp. He was leaving. Desperate, Berry offered reinstatement, starting duties, even extension talks, but the decision was sealed. What followed in Cleveland was organizational chaos. Head coach Kevin Stefanski sat frozen in silence for 20 minutes. Owner Jimmy Haslam reportedly erupted, raging about loyalty and betrayal. Andrew Berry looked, in one insider's words, like he'd seen a ghost. The franchise had been blindsided and humiliated. Fans reacted with nuclear fury. Social platforms exploded with hashtags, #FireStefanski, #BrownsCollapse, and the devastating hashtag #WeHadMahomes2. One viral post, racking up 400,000 likes in 6 hours, summed it up. "We had the next Patrick Mahomes and gave him away because our coach couldn't handle training camp drama. I'm done with this franchise forever."
The Post declared that Shedeur Sanders will capture multiple Super Bowls in Las Vegas, while Cleveland remains saddled with practice squad-level quarterbacks. Classic Browns. Local sports radio stations across Cleveland reported record-shattering call volumes, with furious fans demanding immediate coaching dismissals, front office purges, and ownership accountability. Several long-tenured season ticket holders even publicly announced cancellations, signaling a breaking point. The psychological fallout stretches far beyond the loss of a single player. Meanwhile, Las Vegas erupted in jubilation. The Raiders' season ticket waiting list reportedly swelled by 15,000 names overnight, while jersey pre-orders have already surpassed the entirety of last season's totals. Sports bars are rushing to book special viewing parties for Sanders' debut. The buzz surrounding the franchise hasn't reached such fever-pitch levels since the original relocation announcement. One die-hard Raiders supporter captured the city's mood. "This is our Joe Montana moment. At last our franchise quarterback has arrived. Shedeur Sanders in silver and black. Nothing could be more perfect." From a competitive standpoint, the ripple effects are seismic. The AFC West instantly becomes the most electrifying division in professional football. Sanders will duel Patrick Mahomes twice each season, while direct comparisons with Justin Herbert are inevitable and yearly clashes with Russell Wilson await. The storylines practically write themselves, but the competitive implications run even deeper. The Raiders' offense undergoes an instant metamorphosis around Sanders' rare skill set. His mobility injects an added dimension into Luke Getzey's scheme, while his deep ball precision unlocks explosive vertical opportunities. His leadership presence stabilizes a locker room that has been plagued by uncertainty. Most critically, his marketability cements him as the franchise face Las Vegas desperately needed. Across the AFC, defensive coordinators are already reworking game plans, forced to account for Sanders' dual-threat dynamism with modified rush lanes, specialized spy assignments, and adaptive personnel packages. Cleveland, by contrast, stares into catastrophe. The Browns march into the season with Dillon Gabriel as the presumptive starter in the wake of Sanders' departure. Though Gabriel possesses real NFL-level traits, the psychological toll on the franchise is devastating. Teammates are questioning the front office's competence, coaches are defending deeply unpopular decisions, and ownership is under withering scrutiny. Worse still, the precedent has been set. Future prospects will remember Cleveland's handling of Sanders. Free agents will inevitably question the franchise's stability. The Browns' reputation has sustained damage far beyond one transaction. It has become a crippling recruitment disadvantage. Head coach Kevin Stefanski finds himself in an untenable position. His authority was already undermined after suspension decisions, and now the loss of a franchise quarterback multiplies the pressure exponentially. Sources claim several veteran defenders voiced private concerns during an emergency team meeting Thursday morning. The national media is reveling in Cleveland's meltdown. ESPN's Adam Schefter labeled this the most stunning quarterback movement since Russell Wilson to Denver. NFL Network's Ian Rappaport said the negotiations were unlike anything I've covered in 15 years. Former players turned. Analysts are competing to deliver the most blistering critiques of Browns' mismanagement versus Raiders' boldness. Shannon Sharp fired the harshest shot. The Browns had lightning in a bottle and spilled it because they couldn't handle a little thunder. Meanwhile, the Raiders just stole the AFC's future. Yet, an often overlooked element lies in the shadows. Coach Prime's influence. Deion Sanders kept a public silence throughout the Cleveland saga, but insiders confirm he played a pivotal role behind the scenes. Reports suggest he advised Shedeur on organizational culture, market opportunities, and long-term career trajectory. One source close to the family quoted Deion telling his son, "Greatness demands great organizations. Cleveland showed they weren't ready for you." Las Vegas proved they were starving for exactly that impact. This wasn't merely a father's guidance. It was a masterclass in strategic career planning. Coach Prime's NFL pedigree lent him authority in evaluating organizations. His media savvy provided a shield through turbulent negotiations. His connections unlocked doors otherwise closed. The Sanders family orchestrated not just a decision, but a blueprint for dynasty building. Privately, league executives are staggered by the Raiders' audacity. Several general managers reportedly contacted Mark Davis, seeking insight into the negotiation process. The guaranteed contract structure has raised alarms across the league, setting a precedent that could redefine rookie deals. Agents everywhere are recalibrating. The league is already citing Sanders' deal in negotiations with their own clients. One AFC executive, speaking under anonymity, admitted his concern. This changes everything. If unproven rookies begin commanding this level of guaranteed money, salary cap management becomes exponentially more complicated. Every blue-chip prospect will expect the same treatment. For Las Vegas, the timing is nothing short of perfect. A brand new practice facility opens next month. Season ticket sales, previously lagging behind projections, have now surged. Local media, starved for compelling narratives after last year's disappointing campaign, suddenly have the league's hottest storyline. Sanders solves multiple organizational problems in a single stroke. The Raiders' marketing team has already mobilized a comprehensive campaign around his arrival. Billboards blanketing the Las Vegas metro, social media content featuring Sanders in silver and black, and lucrative partnerships with local businesses eager to be tied to the city's newest superstar. The economic impact radiates far beyond football operations. Next comes the crucial step. Sanders is set to report Monday morning for his physical playbook installation and his formal media introduction. That press conference is projected to be the most high-voltage spectacle in Las Vegas since the relocation announcement. National outlets are descending on Henderson, local reporters bracing for a circus-like environment, and influencers crafting content around the historic moment. But once the cameras dim, the real work begins. Sanders must master a new offensive system in compressed time, build chemistry with unfamiliar receivers, and establish leadership authority in a veteran locker room. The pressure will be overwhelming, yet insiders insist he's ready. One Raiders offensive player summarized the locker room mood. "We knew something seismic was coming when the coaches started smiling again. Now we understand. A franchise quarterback changes everything. Preparation, practice, the entire mindset." Meanwhile, in Cleveland, chaos reigns. Emergency meetings have been scheduled throughout the weekend. Ownership is already considering coaching changes on the eve of training camp, while the front office scrambles for alternative quarterback options via trade. The Browns' damage control efforts appear frantic, reactionary, and devoid of strategy. Reports suggest several veterans have demanded private meetings with the staff to discuss the team's direction. The locker room is now described as toxic, fractured, and uncertain. What began as a simple training camp disciplinary issue has metastasized into full-scale organizational collapse. For Shedeur Sanders personally, this is ultimate vindication. He endured weeks of criticism, suspension, and internal chaos, yet never abandoned self-belief, never compromised his competitive standard, and never allowed outside noise to infiltrate his preparation. The Raiders recognized those qualities and rewarded him accordingly. A source close to Sanders described his emotions bluntly. He feels validated. Every doubt about his attitude, readiness, or character, Las Vegas answered them all with their investment. They believe in him completely. The competitive ramifications are staggering. The AFC West now houses Sanders, Mahomes, and Herbert, arguably the most concentrated quarterback talent in NFL history. Regular season matchups instantly become must-watch television, with playoff implications magnified by divisional warfare. On a broader scale, the NFL's landscape shifts profoundly. Young quarterbacks observing Sanders' ascent now recognize that organizational fit matters as much as talent. Front offices see that mishandling elite players leaves openings for aggressive rivals. The league has grown more ruthless, more opportunistic. This is far more than a contract signing. It is a definitive philosophical statement from the Raiders. Mediocrity will not be tolerated. They refuse to wait for opportunity. Instead, they identify, pursue, and secure through unprecedented investment. That mindset is what separates championship contenders from perpetual rebuilders. For the Cleveland Browns, this becomes a cautionary tale etched into NFL history. Talented players notice everything. How they are treated, how disputes are managed, how leadership responds under pressure. Cleveland failed every one of those tests, and in doing so, surrendered their franchise quarterback. The NFL has been permanently altered. The rookie quarterback market has exploded overnight. Accountability expectations for organizations have skyrocketed. Competitive balance has shifted. All because of one bold transaction. The 2024 season hasn't even begun, yet Sanders' move to Las Vegas already stands as a defining watershed moment, one that will shape league dynamics for years to come. And now, the drama escalates. Sources confirm Patrick Mahomes personally reached out to Sanders following the announcement, welcoming him to the division with a message laced in competitive undertones. Welcome to the big leagues, Rook. Hope you're ready for what's coming twice a year. The psychological warfare in the AFC West has begun before Sanders even takes his first professional snap. Justin Herbert's camp, meanwhile, was reportedly stunned by the Raiders' bold pursuit, with whispers suggesting the Chargers organization privately wonders whether they should have seized the opportunity during Cleveland's dysfunction. As one AFC West scout summed it up, "You've got Mahomes with 3 rings, Herbert with limitless upside, and Sanders with everything to prove. This division just became absolute must-watch television." The ripple effects extend well beyond the NFL. College recruiting has been turned on its head. High school quarterbacks nationwide now realize success requires more than individual talent. Organizational fit dictates everything. Analysts report an unprecedented surge of inquiries from families pressing recruiters on program stability, coaching continuity, and developmental track records. Coach Prime's shadow looms large. His son's seamless rise validates his methods, his emphasis on preparation, and his standard of professional readiness. Colorado's program is already receiving elevated attention from elite quarterback prospects eager to follow the Sanders blueprint. Meanwhile, gambling markets erupted with chaos. Las Vegas sportsbooks slashed Raiders' Super Bowl odds from 25-1 to 8-1 within hours of the signing. AFC West futures were rewritten overnight, moving the Raiders from bottom feeders to second favorites behind Kansas City. Bettors pounced instantly, driving a 400% spike in handle on Raiders' win totals. One prominent bookmaker admitted, "I've never seen a single acquisition swing odds this dramatically. They're treating Shedeur Sanders like a proven MVP, not a rookie quarterback."